I was always outspoken and I questioned a lot of things. So if a teacher said to me, you need to do this, I'd do it, but I'd always ask the question as to why. I grew up in Northamptonshire. I don't really tell many people this, but I was born in a town called Wellingborough and then moved to Northampton as I was older. I like to go back occasionally. It's nice just to go back and get loads and loads of fresh air and see my family. I'm totally in love with that song. We have Janae Aiko, The Worst, just after 7:45. Let's find out what's going on London's roads before pandemonium lets loose tonight again at 9 o'clock. Tube strike, another one on the way. So traffic on the A3 West Hill eastbound in Wandsworth at South Circular Road this morning. For me, music means so much, and it sounds crazy, but I know that music affects so many people. It affects everybody that listens to it. And music can take you to a certain place in your life. And words and sometimes memories can't even do that. If I was to say to you the first song that you ever bought, then you guys could probably remember that very, very quickly. And music has the ability to create emotion within you whenever you're listening to it. I know that there's tracks that I can listen to and it takes me to a time and place, whether that be something sad, you know, someone in your family that's passed away, or a happy moment, or a moment with an ex-boyfriend. Then I think music has that ability, and I think it's really important because obviously we listen to music without even realising it nowadays, whether that's on the radio, whether it's in the supermarket. You walk around shops and it's on, you're in the dentist surgery and it's on. And I just think it's so important that the music that we listen to is as real as it possibly can be. And one of the reasons I decided to get into the music industry was because I wanted to play my part in making that happen. Two huge tracks back to back. First up, it was Cove Love for You, and a bit of Zinc, Show Me. Long Live Luke on Twitter says, when are you going to show me? Hashtag big tune. What do you want me to show you, dude? I don't know. Answers on a postcard. Do you remember them? Back in the day, used to go on holiday and go and actually write postcards. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, just before 8 o'clock, means that very shortly, Is It Newsworthy is on the way. iMusic TV is my little baby, and the reason it came about was because when I decided I wanted to be a presenter, I thought there was different ways that I could approach it. I could either go to auditions, which I started to do, and get in amongst it. And sometimes you go to auditions, there'd be 40 or 50 people auditioning. But it wasn't getting me any experience, and it seemed like a really long way to do it. So I thought instead, what I was going to do was create a situation which meant I could get myself in front of the camera and practice presenting, practice interviewing people, and really get to perfect my craft. So what I did at the time, it was when online was very, very first being created. So I went to some websites, music websites, and said, hey guys, like, have you ever thought about going to festivals? And have you ever thought about interviewing some artists on camera? And so they said, okay, cool, let's try it. So I started doing that for other people, started to build some YouTube channels and worked alongside various other little websites. Anyhow, what I then realised was that I was always doing it for somebody else. And when you're doing that, there's lots of things that you can't ever control. Things like money, things like people losing the footage, situations where you wanted to get in front of an artist and the cameraman didn't turn up. So I thought one day, you know what? I'm going to build my own platform, and iMusic was born. Sample with Too Much. The way that we perceive things is changing, and
motivating me to be part of that change and being able to help to remap a music industry that's run very differently. Before, it was run very much based on financial gain from an artist, and I think it's really important that things are run with heart. And I also think that being part of that for the bigger picture motivates me. It also motivates me being able to help the right artists get noticed, because I think sometimes some artists in the music industry have got chewed up and spat out a little bit, and it's really important for me to be able to help those artists. And I just believe in real talent, being able to find that talent and find it from nothing and then help to build it into something is really, really amazing. But also I'm quite on my own case. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I really think for myself being the best that I can be is something that definitely motivates me.
So basically, when I first started here, I was just presenting. So sitting where Josh is now, I used to just sit there, and it was really, really simple. And then within a couple of weeks, those guys were like, right, you need to get in the deep end. So all of a sudden I was then put in front of this, and as you can see, there's a screen to my left, 2 screens here, another screen here, and sometimes I'm given another tablet. And imagine trying to talk, slide this, pick tracks, check the travel and weather, check the Twitter, interact with these guys. It's multitasking at its very, very best, and sometimes I have a little bit of a meltdown. I used to do this whole flappy hand thing. I used to stand here and go, sit here and go, ah, Josh, but that seems to have all calmed down a bit recently. It's been a bit better.
Wow. Success to me is being happy, and that means being happy with yourself and being happy with your job or chosen career. Success is living your passion and something that you love every single day and waking up every morning and enjoying that day. There's nothing worse. And I remember being in jobs years ago that I absolutely hated. Work is so much of your life. It's like relationships. Relationships is so much of your life. And I just always think that it's so important that you get up every morning and you do what you love. Because if you don't, then you're not happy. You can't be happy if you're not happy in your work. And the same in relationships. If you wake up every day and you're thinking, what am I doing with them for? Then why are you doing it? There's no point. No one's telling you that you have to do that job. No one's telling you have to be with that person. No one's saying that you have to do anything that you don't want to do. And I think success for me is being able to live your passion and walk your journey and love every single second of it.